commentated before on any league? Or...
For this league here, I've pretty much done about, would it be 3 seasons of commentating?
Oh yeah. Do you usually do like Div 2 or something?
Yeah, normally. Just
Understandable. Yeah, this is my first time commentating for this league. I mean, I did an event and I seemed alright,
yeah.
but I raced Div 1 last season.
Oh yeah.
And I still race like Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm guessing in Div 2 you don't usually use any kind of scripts, you just freeball it.
Yeah, pretty much. No,
Yeah, because I've got... Pardon?
it'll be quite interesting going off the script, but you typically didn't really use.
Yeah, no, I typically do for FNL, which is another league I'm in, which I commentate for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so I can get a debrief without, you know, stuttering or anything, because I stutter not quite a bit, but I have stuttered when trying to think off my head, so it just makes it that bit easier.
Yeah.
If you want a free ball anyway, that's okay. Like if you just want to put your touch on it.
We'll see how today or tonight goes, and then we'll go from there essentially.
Yeah. Alright, we're just waiting for the final person.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, 5 minute delay. Alright, full lobby will be behind around 2 minutes. Alright, we're ready to go. Everyone's waiting up. That in it? Either.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new season of PAFR. Uh, we are kicking off the season 4 with our favourite race of mine here at the Sakhir International Circuit in the Middle Eastern country of Bahrain. Very much love this circuit. It's a 5.4 kilometre length circuit with 15 corners in total, and it's just very fun to drive on. Bahrain has been quite a staple early starter of the real life Grand Prix, typically taking up spot number 3 on the calendar, but of recent years it has taken up the opening. And here joining me in my commentary box today is Ventony. And how are you doing today, Ben?
Yeah, I'm doing quite good. I had a few technical difficulties before, so I didn't know if I'd be here, but happy I am for Div 1 Season 4 kickoff. Quite a few returning drivers, especially quick ones such as New Jersey Ananas and Felix Bond, who was the champion last season. Just hoping that there can be some new faces at the top, maybe make it a bit interesting and not from the norm that we've seen in recent seasons. And it looks like we have a couple cars coming out right now. The AlphaTauri of Cool Guy is going to be the first out.
Yeah, there are a couple of drivers that I was looking at earlier that I recognise from my time being a driver as well. You can see my old teammate from quite a while ago, Jack Jackson.
Jack Jackson, yeah, I've been a teammate of his for a race. I believe he's just filling in this week though. He was a late joiner. Cool Guy, he's just coming around turn 10 around now. And who is behind him? It will be Face Pantera, who's a new guy. I've never seen him before. From my time racing last season. Other person I think we got to kind of watch out for is Jace. He's very quick and he can just sneak up on you. One of the few controller players in the lobby, but very quick nonetheless. Cool Guy is just coming around the final corner. If you want to take us through a lap. Of the circuit.
So Cool Guy is spectators there is on the main straight now. Going on the main straight here, it is very easy to lock up your brakes on your approach to turn 1, but he keeps it nice and controlled. There's a slight fishtail, but manages to keep it through going through turns 2 and 3. Up into the approach of turn 4. It's a nice exit off there. I always hate this part of the circuit, the little quick F's essentially, I refer to them. Now this is a very tricky corner to get right, especially if you're going on that downhill but also turning at the same time, so you're having to apply both your brake and turning, which is not exactly what the cars like to do at the same time.
There's a spinner, Joe, sorry to cut you off, just out of turn 3, Atom Kev has just spun on his opening lap on the mediums. I don't think any damage, but Cool Guys, yeah, just coming around the final corner now to set the first lap time break around the 50 meter board there. Early on the power, you can carry a lot more through there as it's a downhill.
Yeah.
Exit, and it's 26.8 to open account, and a 26.3 quick improvement from Pantera there, so very quick time early on. We can see times probably around the 25s, high 25s to low 26s.
Yeah, that's pretty much the
from
average.
these guys.
As well as the high 25s, low 26s is pretty much your average lap time. Oh, and Cool Guy is having a roller coaster ride through some of the circuit.
Yeah, I've just seen that he's gone a bit wide, and he just seems to cutting the corners a lot just to get back to that pit lane. But adds up, goes second, pretty much matches Pantera's time in the Ferrari, who's in the Ferrari, but adds in the Williams, one of the full-time drivers. Nuts goes into P3 in the Alpine car. And very nice times for bankers on these early soft runners who aren't even taking mediums as an option, which we've seen from the earliest guy. If I try to get it up here, is Charlie in the McLaren at 27.6, so he's definitely going to change tyre here. Felix one is out on the lap. He's coming through the second sector now. Let's look at the split. It's a purple second sector, but quickly goes away, so I don't think it really was. Probably just a visual glitch. He's on the soft tyre, so he's not really confident, or maybe he just thinks it's going to be a soft to hard, soft to medium strategy. Comes around across the line. It's a 26.3, goes into third behind Ads and Pantera, so not the greatest of pace from the reigning world champion, if I must say so myself. Anyone else on our lap right now doesn't look like it. Just having a quick look through. Yeah, there's no one on the lap right now, but we've got multiple people on outlaps, and the two Mercedes, Big Boy looks like he's going to end up getting a tow from his teammate Big Boy, so team play from Mercedes early on.
Yeah, it'll be quite interesting to see what strategies some of these drivers will actually come up with. You know, whether they'll be trying to go for a Drivers' Championship or maybe a Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, a lot of people might know Vit as he was in the commentary booth last season, and he just messes up that first corner, loses the back end, so I think that might be the end of his first run, and he's going to probably peel into the pits here. As Ananas goes through. I'm just trying to have a look now. Yeah, no one's on the lap, sadly, so we're just going to have to wait for the rental to come through of Atom Kev, who's on the outlap, and he's now coming around the final corner to start his lap. So you're coming down DRS wide open, you reach around 320 to 325 kilometers depending on the car. You want to break around the 100 meter zone. Take a very tight line, but you want to carry that around to open up the second corner being left-hand kink, and then back into the right-hander, open up the DRS, and then break around the 75 meter for turn 4, which very easy to spin out of. Most people take a very tight line through there, through this section, and you can stay on the throttle in 6th gear. Down into turn 8 now, and he seems to back off, so maybe ruined his lap somewhere. And Kavudi riding behind him on a lap on the mediums now, the Aston Martin. He's going a lot quicker, now down to turn 10, which another place very easy to lock up your tyres. It's a downhill braking section that you also want to turn forward. Down the third DRS straight, you want to break around the 50 meter mark, which has actually been destroyed, so for the no line runners, and he spins. He spins back onto the track. Luckily ghosting is on, but it seems very tough for these drivers, and either track limits or spinning in these uphill traction zones.
Yeah, track limits is definitely going to be a hindrance for these drivers at the circuit, mainly due to the fact that it's quite a wide sort of runoff areas, and the racing line pretty much hugs pretty much the white track lines anyway, so...
Yes, Henry actually matches Pantera's time at the stop here, both with a 26.3446. So, already very close. New Jersey sets the first 26 flat of the session and goes 0.3 quicker than Henry and Pantera's time. We're very close early on, and it's good signs. Good sign. Top 5 separated by 0.4 of a second.
Yeah, these times are definitely suggesting we're going to be in for a interesting Grand Prix tonight. As Havana is coming into the pits, he does have some wind damage.
I wonder what happened there. Probably spin out of turn 4. Very easy to go into the barrier there. As when you spin, you typically go to the inside, and the barrier just is right there. We're going to have a look now. Is Pantera's on a lap, and he goes a 10.5 quicker to now close that gap to Ananas. Not quite enough yet. There's another 10.5 in those times between first and second. And Jace, who's just set a 2.5 faster than his other lap on soft tyres, so he's up into P6 just behind Felix and Henry. Other people on a lap. Nux has just started a lap. Nux, he was a new driver last season, I believe, and he showcased very early on. He's going to get a tow here from Muriel, who probably involuntarily gave that. So very smart from Nuxie, just using the cars around him. He sets a purple first sector, going a 10th, almost 2/10 quicker as comes through turn 8. Gets on the power very early, but makes it work. Now down to the braking zone of turn 8. He goes down to gear 1 there. Very easy to spin, probably on exit, and luckily he doesn't. Brakes for turn 11 now. The uphill zone where we saw Kabuki spin on his lap, but he doesn't. And what's it going to look like over the next sector? It's not purple, but it's up by 5/10 pretty much. Coming into the penultimate straight and the penultimate corner. If he improves and he carries his pace, he's looking for a second row start. Almost goes wide, but just keeps it in bounds of the track, and it's going to be a 26.2, so that puts him into P3, just ahead of Henry, and adds him just behind Pantera there. So, very good lap from Nux.
Yeah, it was actually a very fantastic lap to watch. Definitely showed a lot of control, especially going through some of those tricky corners here.
Yeah, just yellow flags at the last sector, people backing up maybe for a lap, or just trying to get out of the way of Vit now, who's starting the lap. He's got a 26.8 on the board, so for a new guy to the racing scene on this NPAFR, he's doing really well in Div 1, almost breaking the top 10, only out by 0.03 of a second. He's got clear track ahead of him as he comes through. He's 0.3 down, so it's not looking like the best laps. Maybe just didn't have a great exit out of turn 1, 2, or 3. It's very easy to lose through there. Doesn't look up through turn 10, the left-hander, and opens DRS wide open as it comes now to turn 11. Does he get the traction? We're going to see what he has over sector 2, if he's improved at any time. I know he spins just out of turn 14, he breaks off his wing, so very unlucky. He took a wide line through turn 14, which I'm very surprised about. Most people will hug that corner just so much to the curb, which if you get obviously over, you will spin, but took a very wide line through there, and I'm very surprised about that. Don't mind that. Got anyone else on a lap? Raz is coming around to start a lap now. He's currently in 9th position in that Alfa Romeo, so 26.6. So again, very close, and it's only a matter of tenths to improve by quite a lot. So very close, and looking like it's going to be exciting for the race with very evenly matched midfield. So probably from Vit down is when it kind of gets to probably those sloppy laps which haven't really shown the full potential, because that's to 12th, that's 0.8 of a second, so very close there. But Raz just goes wide out of turn 8, probably lost the back end, and that's his lap over. He's probably going to come into the pit unless, because he doesn't have enough fuel for another lap. Anyone else here that maybe has a bit more pace in them? I'm going to look at Habina here, who has shown pace before and shown a lot of potential, but maybe hasn't been the best racecraft-wise, as he always seems to end up at the back, no matter his pace. He comes through turn 1 now. Took probably too much of a tight line through turn 2 there, and really ruined his exit. He couldn't get on the power too much, and it's really going to affect him through his sector times. He's only a 10th down, so maybe that's his usual line. It's not showing the full potential there, but he definitely has the pace of ads, so probably should be up there, but just isn't. As he comes through turn 10 now. Gets on the throttle very late there. Not maximizing any of these corners really, so, and he backs off, so maybe he wasn't really pushing that much, saving for another lap.
Yeah, it looks as though he is probably actually just easing off. Just feels as though he might have had his line ruined a little bit, so he's just easing off and have another crack at it.
Definitely would have, and probably not the best confidence boost for him if he's going to do well, if he's not getting those lines right early on. You want to make sure that you maximize the first couple rounds, just get that momentum heading into the season. So a lot of those main drivers who won't be here tonight obviously going to get a bit of a disadvantage for the rest of the season. Maybe not that much with the new point system introduced for the season, which we actually haven't gone over, probably should. And we get our first retirement of Raz. I think that's in the pit lane, so it doesn't matter too much. He sits in 10th, so may get knocked down a couple of positions, but very good qualifying nonetheless for a 26.6. And New Jersey Ananas, who's on a lap. Is he going to get into the 25s? He does. He's a 25.9. 10th faster than his old lap. So very good there. And Pantera Henry 25.8 shows pace over Ananas, who's one of the fastest in the league, if not, I mean, one of the fastest in the world, if not definitely the fastest in the league. I mean, evidently not. But Pantera also matches his time of 25.9. So very fast from two newcomers, Henry and Pantera are. Ads then goes to P4 with a 26 flat, just edging out Nux, who will be coming across the line very shortly. And he improving at 26.2, go ahead onto the second row of the grid. Gets a good exit. Felix retires. That's in the pit lane, so he will start from P7, and he does. He goes P4, 25.9. So 4 runners currently inside the 25s. Definitely very fast. And faster than Division Australia, who the fastest was a 26 flat by Jace, who really hasn't shown his pace here. Is he on the lap? He is. He's coming around the final corner now. It's 4 tenths up, so he could match that 26.0. And he doesn't 26.1, but that's P6 just behind his teammate on the third row of the grid there. Ads nudging him out. Cool Guy Soda Sport 7th. Kavudi is sponsor, he won't improve, he's P11. bit is the last to cross the line, and someone goes ahead. That was... I'm trying to have a look at... Atom Kev goes into P7, but Vit goes into the pit lane. So that's the end of qualifying. Henry takes pole position, followed by Nanis on that first row of the grid. Pantera and Nux in third and fourth. All Williams lockout for the third row of the grid, both very good times. The first of the 26 runners. Atom, Kev and Cool Guy in 7th and 8th. Felix and Charlie round off the top 10. So probably not the best qualifying for Felix, who does show a lot of pace, definitely early on. Raz takes 11th and Kavudi's alongside him in the Aston Martin. The Mercedes take 13th and 14th. The 7th row of the grid. Fletch, Ash, 15th and 16th. 17th goes to Havina. Miro goes 18th. Ryan and Jackson rounds off the grid in P20. So very interesting qualifying, and gonna go into the race very shortly, and we'll get confirmation of the grid in case there is any penalties. But maybe not as eventful as I thought, but very clean, which is very good. No crashes. Everyone seems to keep it out of the barriers, apart from a couple front wings. So very good standards, I say, for Div 1, and it's very promising.
If qualifying's anything to go by, I expect we'll have a competitive and aggressive, but also a pretty clean race ahead of us.
Yep, and we do get confirmation that the grid will say the same, no penalties for the Div 1 drivers, so everyone will stay where they are. Henry is on pole position with a 25.8. Very good lap time from him, the Brit. We're waiting on... Oh, sorry.
It'll be quite interesting to see how well of a start Henry has.
Yeah, definitely top 10 all on soft compound tyres. It's very interesting to see everyone else outside to see what strategy they start on, which tyres they start on. The strategies are for the soft compound tyres in the top 10. Soft hard or soft medium probably, because they will obviously have worn tyres. And then outside that, maybe a medium to hard, soft to hard as well, or even soft to medium, as we've seen from some esports drivers. But you have to have very good tyre wear management, obviously, for that. So definitely a range of strategies that can be used around Bahrain, and definitely going to be interesting. Probably a mixed-up grid.
Yeah, typically you'd normally see a one-stop strategy through here, but there have been a couple of instances where I've seen two-stop strategies that have worked out pretty well.
Yeah, definitely. So don't count out those people outside of the top 10, because anyone that plays career mode knows those Alpines and AlphaTauris that start outside the top 10 definitely go up there and challenge for podium. So we could probably see that here today with a grid so close on pace. It's really anyone's race to win tonight. So we're just waiting for the ready up confirmation by New Jersey and Anas. Just to give everyone time to do their strategies, everyone time to do fuel loads. And it should be very shortly. We do have that ready up message, and we'll be getting away in just 15 seconds. And we'll be preparing for the formation lap where we'll be able to see who's on what strategy, who's on what tyre. Henry is lining up on that left side of the grid, the outside lane, and Ananas will be on his inside. Gonna look at the tyres here. It seems everyone outside the top 10 is on the medium compounds, apart from Ryan, who's going on softs. Probably a soft, medium, or a soft hard for him. Unless he wants to push that soft medium, which is very interesting to see. So we already have a spinner of Mirrell going into turn 1, so he from 80th drops back behind the Ferrari. And another spinner of Cavuti outside turn 3, so people are struggling to grip on these cold tyres, and if you don't get warm enough on that grid, we could probably see a collision into turn 1, people trying to brake a bit later on cold brakes, and yeah, probably a high chance of a safety car on this first lap, which maybe the top 10 are thinking about. Maybe a strategy can open up from a first lap crash, early switch to mediums, push those as much as you can, and switch to hards, or another set of mediums. They can do a medium strategy if there is a safety car on the first lap, which really helps them out.
Yeah, a safety car quite early in this race would definitely be quite helpful for the top team.
Definitely. As we're just waiting for Henry, who's really backing up the packet. He doesn't want to wait on the grid whatsoever. He's really caused a clump into the last corner as adds the spun. I don't know if he's got a collision or anything. No, he's just waiting. He did actually fly very sudden, so he will have slightly colder tyres on the start, as when you get disqualified, they typically take it down by 5 degrees, I believe it is. So he won't have as cold tyres as he wants, and he probably won't get the best start. But we're just waiting for the Ferrari of Jack Jackson to now line up on the grid. He'll be the last one. And once he is all set, we'll have these 5 red lights counting down to the start of Season 4.
2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go for the Bahrain Grand Prix here.
It's a very good start from Nux, who's already up into P3, and now P2 is down the inside. Maybe take P1 Henry to Brexit quite late. Very clean behind from everyone. No spins or collisions that I've seen. Aston Martin going slowly, and there's AlphaTauri
going wide.
Cool guy. He's off and into the barrier. Did a Roman Grosjean there. Luckily, he is not out. He's just got a broken front wing, so that is going to cost him in this race. Probably an early pit stop he didn't want, but Henry leads from Ananas to now got ahead of Nux, who did get a great exit out of turn 3. Is now spinning the plan behind of Fletch. I'm going to have a look. He doesn't have any front wing damage, so just a spin out of turn 6 there. Back to the front, Henry leads from Ananas, who doesn't seem to have a run on him. Maybe you could see down the main straight what he can do. Atom Kev is up into P5 ahead of Ads, who lost position, and Jace has lost a couple positions. Atom's on P6 to Felix and Atom. But we're going to have a look. Henry coming around the final corner to finish off lap 1 of season 4. He has about a 5/10 gap to Ananas behind you. We have switched him for the straight. Maybe he can close in a bit here. It doesn't seem like he's closing in enough. Yeah, he won't go for the move there. He just gets within that 3.5 region. Coming out of turn 3 now, there's been no positions. Kavudi getting up as Raz has spun out of turn 3, so he's just done what Cool Guy's done, and I don't think he has front wing damage to get confirmation. Yeah, he doesn't. He just maybe collided, took his spin. Cool Guy switches to mediums, by the way, for his early pit stop, which he probably didn't want. Other than that, it's been fairly clean.
Haven't had anyone collide with each other from what I can see, so it has been a nice clean start essentially.
Definitely no retirements so far, so very good from that. And Henry just extends his lead by another 10th on this lap, so maybe he's just using those tyres. They're probably a bit fresher, probably didn't push them as much as Ananas to lose the further 10th and is down to 6/10 by the end of this lap. We're going to look at the positions gained here. Jack Jackson up to 13th after starting last, and we're going to ease up 7 positions. Havina up 5. Other big gainers are Vic, who started P14, now up to 11th in his debut, so just outside the top 10 there by a couple tenths. And and actually no, he retires. So our first retirement of season 4, and that's caused a virtual safety car. He just seems to have done a Mazepin after. Could there maybe been collision? As Ad spins behind out of turn 4, so he drops down to P12, but he goes ahead of Jack Jackson after probably an illegal overtake. So we've got our first safety car-ish.
Havina gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags.
So probably also had an illegal overtake on Ads there. Probably got it spun around before Havina overtook him, and Vit just leaves the session. So very unlucky from his debut, just as I was commentating on him, so probably a bit of commentator's curse there, sadly. And that's on the debut he was looking for in season. We'll have to get confirmation of what happened there. Maybe there was contact with Havina behind, or if he just lost it on his own.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what happened as I don't have a view of it.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I was looking towards the front, but
I'm pretty sure all I know is that Toto Wolff will be breaking a headset down on the table, unfortunately, I think.
Definitely. As the virtual safety car ends, and that's got an early run on Havina and takes that place back in P10. So just to add insult to injury to Havina, you've got a 5-second place for overtaking him. Loses it straight away. We're going to have a look towards the front now. Henry still in the lead from Ananas, Pantera and Max. The top 4 haven't swapped positions whatsoever. And very good pace there, as Kev is just losing a bit of a gap to Nuts. So these, this top 3, top 4 I should say, probably in a bit of DRS train. Losing those people behind. As Kev's just carrying Felix and slightly Jays along, who's almost outside that, and is in fact outside that second range of Felix. But maybe because DRS is open now, we could see Ananas probably make a move on Henry, if not save his ERS and just sit behind him, maybe wait a bit till the end. Doesn't seem like he's using any ERS, neither is Henry. so no one's really looking to move.
Ooh, contact.
Make a move.
Contact between
Contact
Ryan
behind.
and Ash, I believe.
Henry's retired. So our race leader loses the back end out of turn 3 and has got into the barrier the same way Vit did. Maybe there was contact between Ananas. It didn't seem like he was close behind. There's going to be no safety car, which is a bit weird because it's the second DNF in very short succession. But that's our race leader out, and Ananas takes over from Pantera and Nux. So Nux promoted into P3 and he's outside DRS. So can Pantera just be carried on by Ananas here? But very unlucky from Henry there. I'm going to have to get confirmation on what happened there. And Ryan and Ash both retired at the same time or around the same part of the track. Maybe there was contact there. And there was a safety car in the... So everyone will bunch up. So maybe, again, just a bit of that commentator's curse for saying who's going well, who's... that it is clean, and suddenly 4 retirements within 5 laps here, so... Maybe not the best of standards here, as we're already down to 16 runners. We're going to have to get a bit of inside information of what happens with these, especially that Ash Ryan. It seemed like they came together before earlier, and a bunch of people are now pitting, especially those soft runners. Kavini's going to take up, Kavuni's going to take up the lead here. He's on the medium tires. He doesn't want to pit, so this comes at a very good time for those leaders and the top 10 runners that are still in the race, as they get pretty much a free stop. I'm going to have a look at what tires they will change to. They changed to the hards. So I don't know if they're going to the end on that or another set of softs, but we'll have to wait and see. But Kavudi and Havina and Jack Jackson haven't stopped. They're all on the medium tires, so they'll be a bit slower than Ananas and Pantera, who are now on fresh mediums, obviously, and hoping to probably get past them as quick as possible.
Doesn't seem like we've had any confirmation about what any of the incidents that's happened or how they're caused yet.
Nothing just yet. Typically people would say what happened, but not quite just yet. I'm just watching Pantera revisation, trying to get those engine temperatures up probably. It's just good enough in the safety car. There'll be another lap or 2 in this. We now just wait for Fletch to close in, who's on the hard compound tire, same with Raz and Big Boy. Also Jays, who the only top 10 runner to change those hards for this free stop, as most would call it, under the safety car. But maybe he's not confident in going to the end on the mediums, or he just wants to have that one stop race.
Yeah, I think that's probably what the call is from him as well. You'd only really want to take the mediums right to the end, especially, this early in the Grand Prix, if you're really confident on the retirement, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know why him and his teammates have taken different strategies, because I know they are good friends. I know that they typically synchronize their strategies, make sure that they're both in the best shot. But they're on different strategies now, so it's going to be very interesting to see what unfolds here. And maybe Jay's having this safety car putting onto that hard is definitely for the win stop. Can that track position just help him out and get, a podium or even a win?
Yeah, the safety car coming out right now is definitely a throw-in. Essentially what my predictions of the race were out the window now.
Yeah, definitely. So I'd say probably the race win, as it stands right now, if I had to make any predictions, would be Ananas, Pantera, or Jays. One of the three, I would say. As Jays mainly because of that one stop. Ananas and Pantera because of the pace that they have out front compared to the rest, and that's only just behind, so it can be interesting. Maybe any other collisions, and even if there's another safety car, could that give Ananas Pantera another free pit stop, and maybe that could give Jays another free pit stop to maybe change onto another set of tyres towards the end of the race. But safety car will be in this lap. Kavudi will lead us off as he's just going to peel away from the safety car, who is also the Aston Martin. But he will lead Kavina and Jack Jackson, the three people who haven't stopped in this race yet. Let's see what the pace difference will be like from Ananas, the fastest, who's left in this race. Kavudi goes. They're going to wait for Havino to cross the line for the green flags. We're going to see, can anyone make a move? And Pantera is actually up the inside of Ananas. Can he go for a dive? Maybe Jack Jackson, his teammate, would box him up. No, he actually doesn't. He boxes up his teammate instead and lets Ananas back through. Jack Jackson spins and almost clips his teammate there. But he is now off into the infield of turn 3, as we've seen quite a few do before, but that leaves Nuts vulnerable, as Pantera had to break for that, but Ananas now is just going to continue his charge through these front two runners. You must clear them as soon as possible, not get held up on these people on old medium tyres. Kavudi already has quite a bit of a gap over Havino, so that could leave Havino vulnerable. Ananas almost goes into the back, and also Pantera, who now loses position to Nux after going a bit wide, but gains it back immediately. Ananas now goes up the inside of Havino, so he's now cleared him, and he's got one more to go. Let's see how quickly he can hunt Kavudi down and pull out a gap from Pantera, because that's what he's going to want to do now, who has just cleared Havino and so does Nuts. So already 3 drivers, the top 3 drivers are on, what is the word I'm looking for, provisionally. Oh, but Ananas pits again. Does he have front wing damage? Well, I have to have a look.
He doesn't have any that I can see.
He goes past his pit box, so he had a drive-through, which I completely missed. But he now drops down to P16, so maybe something on the safety car. Well, obviously the safety car, but he has a drive-through penalty, so that's now ruined his race, and Pantera takes up the effective lead behind Kavudi now, and Nuts close behind with Felix and Atom Kev all ahead of that AlphaTauri Kavudi. So not the greatest race for the leaders, both Henry and Ananas, both having their race pretty much ruined, unless Ananas can make an amazing comeback here. Still 20 laps left, so a lot of time for change. Maybe another safety car, maybe he doesn't have to stop again, or he takes those tyres. There could be a bunch of factors that could keep him in the race. Gonna look as Kavudi just drops under a second to Pantera behind, so I don't think it'll be long before he loses positions to these front runners.
Charlie makes a nice clean overtake on Havina. Brilliant control.
DRS now enabled. As now Jays with DRS gets ahead of Havino as well in this huck. Oh, he doesn't, he sends it, but Havino brakes just as late. And Jays will have to wait for the next straight, if not the next lap, to make a move. He's got ERS, he's got about 50% there, so he doesn't really want to use that much. Havino just holding up as Ads goes into the back of the mirror there. I don't know if he has damage now, but I heard contact. I looked behind on Jays' onboard. and Ads just lost it out of turn 4, so definitely some contact there between Muriel and Ads. Look back towards the front now, as Atom Cave is just riding the back of Felix there, trying to force an overtake maybe, or force him into a mistake. Take that podium position away from Felix. We have Nux looking for a move on Pantera. He's getting almost alongside through turn 14, no, turn 13, sorry, now turn 14. And Willie, he might have a run into the first corner on the DRS straight. He's going to be right on the back. And he actually gives him a nudge as he breaks way later than Pantera, but he gets the run now out of the corner. He gets DRS. Pantera also does, but Felix has a run on both of them with the double slipstream. It's going to be 3 wide from the podium sitters right now as effectively. Felix has the inside of this a collision. Nux is now spun, so another leader taken out of the race after 3 wide. Any damage, I can't see anything on the other two, the Ferrari and Aston Martin, but Felix now takes the effective P2 because Atom Kev is now to the effective lead. So Felix, who had the run on them both, had the inside line. No one wanting to back out, and Nux just got sandwiched.
He got sandwiched and then potentially got lifted up, essentially, in the air.
Yeah, it's very, very unlucky from him, and there's going to be definitely an incident report on that later on. But Atom Kev now takes the lead after just sitting behind Felix for quite a few laps and probably getting frustrated. He's now got his breakthrough. And what can he do in this cleanish airs? He's just behind Kabuki, but will get DRS and probably overtake. Wondering when Kabuki will come into the pits. Probably won't be too long, as he's going to pick up those hard compound tyres definitely to complete the one stop. Adam Kev not too fussed about actually getting past Kabuki right now, as he's not using ERS. He's saved about 65% there. Luckily no one has damage, as Nux doesn't have to come into the pit, but maybe only body damage.
Kira doesn't have any damage from what I can see in that incident.
Yeah, I'm going to have a quick look at Nux, see if there's any of that floor damage, which you now get visual.
Charlie's had a spin into the tyre barrier, just pretty much at the bottom of those small S's. He doesn't have any damage.
At least not on the front wing, that is.
There's rear made contact, it seems.
So I'm trying to have a look here at the body of Nux. It doesn't look like there's anything that stands out too much. Maybe, and he loses the back end, so maybe there is a little bit that's affecting his rear downforce. And I've actually got information on Ryan. He says that Ash hit him going downhill at the start of Sector 2, and then he hit the inside curb and ran wide, and he just couldn't stop and hit the barrier. So there was contact between him and Ash, and maybe that's what caused Ash to retire. Probably went a bit too far on. So we look towards the front now. Atom and Kev and Felix are both cleared Kabuki. Kabuki probably not giving that much of a fight for Felix. He's actually held Kev up. So Felix is now within a second of Kev. That could just bring in more bad-ups and maybe even more contact for these front runners who haven't had the best of races. There's another spin, and Jace is out of the session. And that's caused the second safety car. So Jace, have a look at what's gone on there. I don't know exactly who was battling. I think it was Raz and maybe Nux and Big Boy, that kind of area. But Yeah, that's because the second safety car, and we're gonna have a look. Maybe who can pit maybe another set of mediums towards the end of the race, and that's gonna help Kavudi. He's now gonna get a free pit stop, probably onto the hards, because he won't be able to use the mediums again, and he'll be able to get a free pit stop in that third position. Going to be interesting to see if anyone does box, and yeah, it seems like everyone is going to. Kavudi doesn't. Kavudi stays out, seeing his teammate going to the pit. So I don't know why, because the game has patched and given you shorter times if you're double stacking. But that's just left him vulnerable now, as he's going to have to be stuck behind the safety car, and that's going to drop him right down the field.
Yeah, there might have been a bit of miscommunication between the two Aston Martin drivers. Probably what I would put it down to is... Ooh! Did Karuda make contact with the safety car?
I wasn't watching, I was looking at the people coming out of the pits, just seeing if positions had changed after maybe double stacking or anything, and Habina actually lost a bunch, as he was just ahead of Raz, that stays now behind Ananas, who could maybe get quite a few good points after a drive-through penalty. Gonna have a look back if there's been anything. Nothing reported right now on any of the incidents. As the only one, or not the only one, him and Pavina and Jack Jackson, the only ones to be on hards right now after pitting. Everyone else shows mediums to DMs, and Kavudi still hasn't stopped in this race. Definitely going to drop towards the back of the field.
Yeah, my guess the Kavudi might be coming in this lap perhaps.
Won't be coming in this lap, maybe next. Oh wait, Kavudi, yeah. Sorry, I thought you had the safety car there. I was like, there's definitely no way that Stefan's staying up for another lap. We're going to have a look. Is he going to come into the pits now? He doesn't, no. So he already knows it's going to be too big of a loss. I still would drop to the back with at least a chance of, you know, making way through the field as Jack Jackson spins. And now goes back into P15. So Kavudi, his race is pretty much ruined, because he's going to have to wait for that safety car to come in and then pit for hards in normal racing, unless he's banking on the safety car to quickly happen, which could be the case. As we already have 5 DNFs. Jays, Ash, Ryan, Henry and Vit, so both Hasses out. Not great from them, especially from Henry, who was looking extremely promising. I've got insider information that Kavudi has said, yeah, he messed up, he should have pit. To me, he's just gone straight through the safety car. It's just caused a massive collision, so maybe penalties dished out? I don't know, but he's just like through the safety car on my screen.
He hasn't made contact with the safety car on mine, so it might be probably just a sync error perhaps.
Probably. Ads gets 5 seconds for ignoring yellow flags, probably overtook Knox or something like that. Maybe a glitch, because I do remember him being in front of Knox. I don't know exactly what that's for, but I have to get confirmation.
Confirmation that the safety car is coming in the lap.
Yeah, as we're going to have Kev behind Kavudi, who still is in pit, so he's going to be very slow compared to these people who pit twice now on even fresher mediums.
Yeah.
As Kev wants to go right next behind him, as Kabudi is swerving a lot, and there was confirmation of a collision there. Both got a 5-second penalty, but screen flags, and Kabudi's gonna get a dive down the inside by Kev. No contact there, but both have a 5-second penalty. After some violent leading from Kabudi, he's gonna get a run on this. There's another collision. Viral and Ads behind. None of them are out, luckily, but Kev now gets ahead of Kabudi and Pantera ahead of Felix. They're gonna almost go 3 wide through there as Kabudi is just getting out of the way of everyone. He's definitely slower. But Pantera's now up into P2 and Felix is down to P3. Cool Guy's up to P4 after coming from nowhere, and Nana spins behind. After trying to get past Kabudi, I think had a bit of contact. As he now drops down, and more disappointment from one of the fastest in this lobby right now. Cool Guy, P4, Nux P5, after a great recovery after spinning. Kabudi P6, who still hasn't pit, he'll drop right down the way down. Charlie P7, Raz P8, Big Boy in 9th, Fletch in 10th. Jack Jackson, after spinning under safety cars, makes back to 11, but effective P10, and he'll round off the point scores for now. And there's just a bit of cluster between Charlie, Raz, and Kabudi, who's just holding them up and causing a train as Pantera and Felix are going side by side into T1. Nux isn't there, so no spins. And Pantera is going to hold the inside line, but is he going to hold the position to Felix, who gets a better exit? And they're going to still run side by side, so very good racing here, and they're still side by side. Felix gets just the better exit, but they're still side by side going down into P6, a bit of contact there. But Pantera seems to hold the position after all of that. Now to T7 and T8. Now the DRS straight, but there will be no DRS, obviously, so we'll just come out of the safety car. And Felix has to hold on to P3 for just now. So very interesting racing and very clean racing from those two. Very nice to see. Nux is just waiting behind Cool Guys. He's slightly going side by side. Doesn't get the better exit. He's now just dropping down ERS, trying to get past this AlphaTauri. Will he get it done on this straight? Doesn't seem like he got the exit. DRS enabled on lap 18 now. Raz, Big Boy, as Kabudi finally pits. He's now going to come on probably onto the... He could go onto the softs now, but probably won't. Going to have a look there, just see. He's going onto the softs for the end of the race. And so even after, strategy malfunction kind of from him under the safety car, could he take the fastest lap away from who currently holds it as Nanis?
I think his head's it. Look.
Yeah, he said it's 29 something.
29.5.
Very slow, so obviously not that much fast laps being pushing, definitely after safety cars and no one really getting into a rhythm. But we'll definitely see that time probably drop in the next couple laps. Ad says that he got taken out by Mural. So that's what happened there after the safety car came in. It's just watching Pantera, who will have DRS, and there's going to be a DRS train all the way back down to Nux. I don't think there'll be any position changes really. No one's going to go for it as much. I mean, maybe Pantera here could get going on the next race. He looks off, so he's definitely not looking to overtake right now. as Big Boy gets past Raz. Raz just defends it and stays in. Oh no, he doesn't. Big Boy gets the exit and moves up into P7, so very good overtake from him. Look to back towards the front as it's going to be interesting battle. Definitely towards the end of this race. It's Miro makes it the fastest lap, 29.3. Kev does have that penalty, but I think that might be removed. As looking on it, it was aggressive moving from Kavudi. Not the other person to have a penalty. I'm going to have to see what that is. It's 5 seconds. So, probably also collision. Charlie in P6, he's just running his own race right now. Cleaner both in front and behind. Big Boy, the only one to have a track limits penalty, so definitely everyone keeping in between the white lines, which is good to see. Usually about half the grid would have a track limits penalty by now, but not the case. He's going to look, does Pantera make a move? He doesn't, so they're just going to stick in a train here, the top 5, and they're probably just going to wait to be closed in closing laps.
As Kavudi gets the fastest lap of a 28.8.
Yeah, so definitely fast considering the standards now. Ananas pit, so probably for no, he has front wing damage, and he goes onto the hard, so he doesn't have any of the tires available. Just showing how many stops he's had to do. And yeah, that's not going to be great for him. It's his 4th stop of the race, so definitely not great for him. And he's going to want to forget this race.
His nuts goes down the inside of Cool Guy, but
doesn't make it stick. Yeah, probably just getting a bit impatient now, as he's going to want to climb the people, climb the positions. Obviously being at the back of this train, he's going to want to be probably around P3 by now. Doesn't look like the case, so he's the only one really looking to overtake. Cool Guy actually tries to send out the inside and does send out the inside. Doesn't make it stick on Felix, and they still settle for the same positions as they had the previous. Nux braking very late compared to the other people. He's definitely wanting to get past and definitely getting impatient because he improves his lap again. And he does go down the inside. Cool Guy.
Get it though.
He just needs the exit and he doesn't. He loses the back end, just trying to get on the power a bit too early. And again, almost goes into the back of Cool Guy, showing how much he's pushing. Just trying to get through. I'm actually just going to have a look here to see who has track limit warnings out of the top guys. Looks like Cool Guy has 1, Felix has 1, Pantera has 2. So he's definitely close to a 3-second penalty there, which would pretty much ruin his chances. Actually, Cool Guy also has 2. Kev has 1. Yeah, Kev has 1. Pantera and Cool Guy both have 2. And the rest have none from what I can see. So the only people to really be at risk right now is Cool Guy and Pantera of getting a 3-second and just ruining their risk. Actually, as I see now, Pantera is in the lead. Yeah, I missed that. He gets past Kev. He just wanted to now build a gap, and it seems like he has the pace to, so he's going to try to just build a gap on Kev and Felix, trying to get out DRS. And it seems like Kev doesn't have the pace compared to Pantera. And if he can pull out another 10th and a half before the end of the next straight, he will be out of DRS and I'm sure on his way to the win. It doesn't look like it'll happen. It looks like it'll be a... No, he does. He's out of a second and he won't concede DRS to Kev behind. So he's now going to just set on a charge. He has about 50% ERS, so he's going to be pushing these last couple of laps probably.
Felix overtakes Kev as well.
Yeah, as they just have DRS and actually closing back onto Pantera here, so probably not pushing as much as what I thought he would have, trying to just get out of DRS there. These top five just slightly spreading out a bit more than what they were a couple laps ago. As Mirror has spun outside of turn 14. He's dropped down to P14 now. Kev just doesn't seem to have the pace compared to these other top five runners, but he's just sticking with them for now, apart from Felix and Pantera, who are now going to take their own charge, fight for this win, and I don't think Kev has the pace to fight them.
No, I don't think he has a pace to catch back up to those two, but I think he'll try and put in as best of a fight as he can though.
Yeah, definitely. So Felix, is he gonna overtake this lap? Probably not. If I was him, I would save ERS, as he doesn't have that much, especially compared to Pantera, who will be able to defend towards this end. He actually does. He just has the overspeed with DRS, and Miro has another spin. This one down at turn 6 now. He keeps out of the barriers, I believe, and he almost loses it again. He's not having the best of times right now, but Pantera, who loses position to Felix, and yeah, we're going to have a look here at Miro, who's going to be the first lap car, probably, as he gets it back on the road, but I suspect another spin from him. Pantera slightly drifts through turn 10 there, so maybe not doing the best with tyre wear. Looking at his right rear, just got over the 100 degrees there, so he's going to probably lose out to Felix here, and Felix is going to maybe charge out as another spin from Miro. He doesn't get in the way, luckily, of these top five, but yeah, as I said, he's not having the best of times, and he gets a 10-second penalty to add insult to injury, staying off the track for a bit too long there. So as it stands, Felix is in P1, Pantera second, Kev is in P3, rounding off that podium position. Cool Guy Nux just behind, just waiting to pounce maybe towards this end, giving Kev no chance of re-overtaking. Admiral finally retires from the pit, from the race as he comes into the pits. None of these top five tried to make an overtake, so everyone just settling in for now. So we've got 5 laps remaining in round 1.
Yeah, I'm starting to think penalties will probably play a large factor into determining positions of everyone now that we're in the last 5 laps essentially of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, we have just gone over the hour mark, by the way, for the event, so we're going to get around about a 45-minute race here as Miro leaves. Yeah, so he wasn't having the best of times, as constant spins, and then just gave up in the pits. But heading now onto lap 26, Cool Guy closing right to the back of Kev there into the final corner. Is he going to make a move? He's not close enough, it doesn't seem like, with DRS. He doesn't have as much ERS. None of the top 5 really do. Actually, Nux getting down to 0% there. Pantera is looking in a great position here with about 70% ERS. And yeah, it's just a matter of who is going to pounce and who's going to take charge and take who's going to really go for it first out of these top 5 to see who will take podiums and the race win. One of these 5 will take the race win. There's still Kavubi that still holds the fastest lap it is, so he won't get an extra point there for the fastest lap as he's in 12th. As Cool Guy actually runs wide and he gets a 3-second penalty. So that's probably his race over. And he's just in P4, so he won't drop behind Charlie, who's 7 seconds behind, but that's ruined his race and he's going to drop down to P5 now. Because unless Nux gets rid of, doesn't get rid of his penalty, sorry, which is a 5-second. As we're coming up onto the next lap car of Ananas, who in the Red Bulls just on soft, so maybe just waiting to get that fastest lap. As he's on his 5th stop, same with Ads, who's gone for a stop on new softs. He's weaving to try to get hit into his tyres, so these two are just going to battle up for the fastest lap. Big Boy holds off Raz slightly, as Raz around the outside makes a beautiful move in the blow for P7. Lower end of the points there. It's now looking towards the front. Pantera within just over half a second. DRS, and he almost has full ERS as Felix is just saving. So I reckon, obviously, Pantera doesn't know that Felix is lower on the ERS, but I would start pushing if I was Pantera, just drain that energy, because he has 100%, so if you're forcing Felix into pushing, it just is going to suit him much better towards the end of the races. He'll have much more ERS and definitely an easier overtake.
Pantera is going to go for a move here.
Yeah, so Felix, who used a bit of ERS trying to defend, doesn't defend in the end, and Pantera retakes the lead after losing it a couple laps ago to Felix. Could Felix come back on the next straight? He's not using ERS, he's just saving, so he's going to sit behind Pantera as we move on to the penultimate lap. And it's definitely going to be good for Pantera, who's just going to drain his battery on probably the last lap, just stay ahead. And if he can catch up close enough to New Jersey, which I don't think will happen, he could get a bit of a toe of that DRS and just help him through staying ahead of Felix. This Kabuki pits once more, probably for another set of softs, just to try and get the fastest lap, same with Ads and the Nanas are doing. Kev has just lost out a lot to the front two of Felix and Pantera, so he's definitely struggling for pace compared to the others, and just is keeping Cool Guy and Nux behind. As we're going to move on to the final lap of the Grand Prix, and probably the final overtaking opportunity for Felix in the next couple of straights. He's using all the ERS he has, he's using DRS. Pantera also using ERS, he's trained so much to stay ahead, and he will have, as a side-by-side actually, Felix is going for the move. and he's on the inside. Slight wheel banging there, and he loses traction on exit, and I think that's it for him. So unless Pantera gets a bad exit out of one of these corners, he just has to pretty much keep it clean for the rest of the lap, and he will take his first victory in Div 1 and in Season 4. And then look, Felix just closing onto the back. He's going to want to push like crazy. He's going to use all the ERS as Jack Jackson spins out of turn 3, that is. But Felix with DRS, with ERS open, Pantera moves out to remove the slipstream. Pantera stays ahead, and this could be the race now, unless one more overtaking opportunity on this next straight. Pantera has so much more ERS to play with, so definitely much more pace, and he does stay ahead. So as now coming around the final corner, Pantera is coming up to the line. Felix is not close enough. Pantera will take the first win of Season 4, and the Bahrain Grand Prix moves to the top of the table. His first win in Division 1. Felix takes second after narrowly missing out. Cool Guy takes P3 for now, after Aston Kev had a, what I would say, unfair penalty, so you can probably get that removed and take the podium position there. Nux P5, Charlie and Fletch in P6 and 7 for the McLaren boys, so good performance from them. Big Boy, Raz and Pavina round off the points positions. Jack Jackson, after spinning, drops down to P11. Kabuti, after messing up his strategy, he finishes in P12. Ads is probably going to take P13, and New Jersey Ananas, after being one of the fastest, just getting unlucky though with a drive-through, is going to finish last on P14 of the runners.
It's definitely a very interesting race, to say the least. Pretty much a quarter of the field pretty much didn't finish. Quite a lot of contact here and there.
Yeah, definitely. And from what I believe, Ads got fastest lap, so he still took away from Ananas and Kabuti in their fastest lap battle towards the end, but he won't obviously get the extra point. And I think that set us up for a great season. In the end, Pantera takes the win. As Cool Guy said, what a battle, an amazing racing from the top 5, and it was all staying fairly close to each other. And as I said, that set us up for what is going to be a great season of PAFR Division 1 on Sunday. Make sure to join us, me and Labyrinth, who will take you through most of the races this season, as there's definitely going to be much more action, and I don't think you want to miss out.
Yeah, definitely. If tonight's race was anything to go by, we've got one banger of a season ahead of us. Just going through the placements at the moment.
Yeah, so just confirmation of the game's interpretation of this finishing positions. Pantera takes the win. Felix takes second. Cool Guy in third for now. Kev and Nux in fourth and 5, the last two of that battling front pack. Charlie, Fletch, the McLaren's having a strong performance there. Big Boy, P8, Raz in P9, and Havina in P10, rounding off the points finishes. 6 DNFs, Miro, Jays, Ash and Ryan, who came together. Henry, who was one of the leaders crashed, and Vet running off after a disappointing debut. I think that'll be the end of tonight's event. Thank you to everyone that's joined us, and we'll see you hopefully next week.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us as well. We'll catch you next week, and hopefully we'll have some more exciting action ahead. But until then, we'll catch you later. Peace.